Hello and welcome to Down the Shore Homestead. Today I'll be making some chocolate chip cookies. I found a new recipe that I really wanted to try out to see if it improves on the one I already have. So, as we say around here, let's go down the shore. Okay, so this is a new chocolate chip recipe that I'm going to try out. Hopefully it will be better than the one I already have. However, I will say that most chocolate chip recipes pretty much are all the same, but this one has specific ways of mixing the ingredients. So maybe they'll come out better. Who knows? First, you have to soften your butter. It's 1 cup of butter, and I cheated and did it ahead of time. So here is our softened butter. And then we have to add 1 cup of sugar. So here is my sugar. And I will be adding in 1 cup. This is a half cup. Actually, I have a leveler here. So this is a half cup scoop. So we'll do this twice. So it says to add the butter and the sugar together so that it makes a creamy consistency. We'll see what happens. Now you add in 1 cup of brown sugar. This is so my brown sugar doesn't get hard. And it works awesome, by the way. Now it doesn't say packed, which is weird, because usually it's packed brown sugar, so we'll just kind of pack it down. There's a half a cup. Oh, I lied. It does say packed. So, all right, 1 cup of sugar. Now we are going to mix these together. And obviously I'm going to have to come over to my mixer. It's like a butter apocalypse over here. My mixer is too high speed, but hey, I'll make it work. Okay, now we add in 2 eggs. I forgot to tell you that we have to preheat the oven to 350. And I gotta grab some eggs. So I'm adding in 2 eggs, and I'm putting my eggshells in my compost bin. And I will mix these together until it's creamy. Okay. Now we add the vanilla, which is 2 teaspoons. Now we dissolve baking soda in hot water and add salt to the mix. It's a half a teaspoon of salt, and we're gonna dissolve baking soda in 1 teaspoon of baking soda in 2 teaspoons of hot water. Now we're gonna stir in the flour, chocolate chips, and if you want walnuts, you can add walnuts, but I do not. So it's 3 cups of all-purpose flour and 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And if you want to use nuts, it's 1 cup of walnuts. So these are organic chocolate chips. Let's see if they taste the same. This is the first time I'm using these. Okay, so now that it's all mixed together, we have to drop these onto a cookie sheet. And I use parchment paper to help with the burning. And they just seem to come out better, and it's easier to clean the pans. I spilled some on the floor. So I'm going to wash my hands, clean up this mess. And then what I'm going to do is take these dropped cookie dough pieces, and I'm going to roll them into balls and give them a little pat down. But I'll be right back to show you that. To make my cookies more conformed, I guess, I like to do this. I just roll them in a ball, give them a little pat. And my husband says that when I do this, the cookies come out perfect. So we'll see if this recipe does the same thing. Now we cook these in the oven for 10 minutes. So I usually do mine for like 2 minutes less than what the recipe calls for because my oven might be different. I would suggest you do the same thing. Just take a peek. If they need a little longer, then do them for the full 10 minutes. Or if you've done them for 10 minutes and they still seem raw or they're not done enough, go ahead and cook them a little bit longer. I wouldn't do more than 1 or 2 minutes longer. Cookies sit on the pan for 2 minutes to cool enough for you to then move them to a wire rack for them to completely cool. So remember, during those 2 minutes, they're going to cook longer. My chicken timer. And I'm going to clean up this mess while we wait for these to cook. And I will say, I guess I really need to buy a mixer. I really made a mess. Okay, so the timer has gone off. I'm going to take a peek. And yeah, I don't know if you guys can see this, but they definitely need to cook for another couple minutes. So we'll add 2 minutes to our timer here. And we'll do them for 2 more minutes. And Clucky is going to tell us when it's ready. And as you can see, Butter Apocalypse has been cleaned up. Okay, the 2 minutes has been up. So let's try and see. Okay. They definitely look better. I'm going to let them sit for 2 minutes on the pan. And then I will move them to the wire rack for them to cool the rest of the way. I'm going to add more cookies to the pan until half the dough is used, and then I'll freeze the rest. So I'll come back after they're completely cool and give you guys an update on how they came out. Okay, so the cookies are cooling on the rack, and I will say, if I can get a view here, here we go, that they look pretty darn good to me. I mean, look at that. Perfect on the bottom. Nice. Looks like they're going to be nice and chewy. I'll have my husband test them when he wakes up, and we'll see what he thinks. Original recipe or new recipe. Okay, hon. The new cookies are ready. I want you to try one and tell me if you like the original recipe or this new recipe.
That's good. The new recipe.
Perfect. Hey, Rocco, this is Mommy's new cookie recipe. No chocolate in here. Want to try a bite? Do you like it?
He likes everything.
I think Rocco approves. All right. So 3 out of 3, new recipe wins.